Kenyans earning below 30,000 shillings deserve a reprieve, Honorable Speaker.
We have thousands of victims who have suffered various forms of sexual violence, from rape, gang rape.
Maandamano ya Kitengela tumuone imekuja imechukuliwa na wahuni.
Hata nikiona polisi nakumbuka tu nikiambiwa bwanako alipigwa risasi na polisi.
Goons wamekuwa wakitumika sana katika nchi yetu.
Kuingia Mombasa ni harusi. Kutoka Mombasa ni matanga.
Hata wase hata kila mtu atasastukia kondo ametoka amemalizwa na stima.
Mimi nyota yangu iko juu. Mimi siasa yangu iko juu. Siasa yangu sasa iko juu kabisa.
Then you can proceed to withdraw that statement.
I've never withdrawn anything in my life.
This is the Radio Generation News.
Hujambo popote pale ulipo na karibu kwa taarifa zetu za saa moja jioni. Jina langu ni Dahira Ahmed. Tukitanguliza, seneta wa Nairobi Edwin Sifuna amepata pigo kubwa kisiasa baada ya kamati ya utendaji ya kitaifa ya chama cha ODM kumuondoa rasmi katika wadhifa wa katibu mkuu wa chama hicho. Kaimu katibu mkuu Catherine Omanyo ametangaza uamuzi huo siku ya Jumatatu baada ya mkutano wa uongozi wa juu wa chama, akisema kuwa uamuzi huo unaanza kutekelezwa mara moja. Hii ina maana kuwa Sifuna ameacha rasmi kushikilia wadhifa wa katibu mkuu wa ODM kuanzia sasa.
The party's internal dispute resolution committee that was constituted in accordance with Article 51(3)(f) of the party constitution to hear and determine the complaint concerning Senator Edwin Watenya Sifuna in his capacity as the Secretary General. After going through the report and the findings of the IDRS under Article 74, Section 2 of the party constitution, the NEC unanimously resolved to adopt the committee's recommendation and endorsed the removal from office of Senator Edwin Watenya Sifuna.
Na kiongozi wa chama cha PLP Martha Karua amewasili Nairobi baada ya kuzuiwa kuingia nchini Uganda, ambako alikuwa amesafiri kuhudhuria kikao cha mahakama kinachomhusu kiongozi wa upinzani nchini humo Kizza Besigye. Karua amesema alirejeshwa nyuma licha ya kusafiri kwa lengo la kuhudhuria kesi hiyo, hatua ambayo amesema imezua utekelezaji wa majukumu yake ya kisheria na kisiasa katika tukio hilo. Katika tukio hilo, rais wa chama cha wanasheria wa nchi Charles Kanjama, ambaye alisafiri pamoja na Karua, aliruhusiwa kuingia nchini Uganda na kuendelea na shughuli zake. Na tukiachana na hayo, msemaji wa serikali Isaac Mwaura ameonya dhidi ya maandamano ya kumbukumbu yaliyopangwa kufanyika Juni tarehe 25, akisisitiza kuwa siku hiyo itakuwa ya kawaida ya kazi. Akizungumza katika mkutano wa kila wiki na wanahabari jijini Nairobi, Mwaura amesema serikali haijatangaza Juni 25 kuwa siku kuu ya umma na kuwataka Wakenya kuripoti kazini kama kawaida. Aliongeza kuwa vyombo vya usalama vimeweka mikakati ya kulinda biashara na kuhakikisha shughuli za kawaida zinaendelea kote nchini.
Government clarifies that 25th of June is not a public holiday and will remain a working day. Citizens are urged to move forward and work that day constructively to build our economy, leaving unrest behind and uniting in fostering peace and national cohesion. Recent protests have resulted in losses of life and property, and we stand in solidarity with those whose lives were lost. The estimate by KRA was that we lost 6 billion shillings. The estimate by KRA was that we lost 6 billion shillings. And it's even more, that's just a very conservative estimate. Therefore, call for further protests, risk driving the country into further economic crisis, severely harming the very youth that those who are calling them purport to represent.
Wizara ya utumishi wa umma imeadhimisha siku ya utumishi wa umma barani Afrika katika hafla iliyofanyika katika kituo cha kimataifa cha mikutano katika jengo la KICC jijini Nairobi. Siku hiyo inayotambulika na mataifa yote ya Afrika huadhimishwa kutambua mchango wa watumishi wa umma na taasisi za kiserikali katika kuendeleza ubunifu, maendeleo endelevu na kuboresha utoaji wa huduma kwa wananchi.
The objective must be clear: to create institutions that not only meet today's need, but also prepares for tomorrow's demands. If we are committed to compete with the first world, then our outputs in public service must continually grow to the level to level up with other nations that we perceive as a first world. If Singapore or South Korea is our role model, then public servants and indeed citizens must start focusing on productivity per hour rather than mere attendance at the workplace.
Na Rais William Ruto ametangaza kuwa serikali italipa deni la shilingi bilioni 2 linalodaiwa wakulima wa kahawa katika mwaka ujao wa kifedha, huku akisema salio la deni hilo litalipwa kwa awamu katika miaka ijayo ya bajeti. Akizungumza katika kaunti ya Kirinyaga wakati wa uzinduzi wa mpango wa kufufua sekta ya kahawa, Rais Ruto aliwahakikishia wakulima hatua za kuboresha sekta hiyo, huku akiwakosoa baadhi ya wabunge na serikali ya upinzani kwa kukosa ajenda. Tupate habari kamili kutoka kwake mwanahabari wetu Kimeli Arap Yego.
Kupitia ongezeko la uzalishaji, uboreshaji wa minyororo ya thamani na kuhakikisha wakulima wanalipwa kwa wakati. Aidha, aliwakosoa baadhi ya wabunge na viongozi wa upinzani kwa kupinga baadhi ya mipango ya serikali, akisema baadhi yao hawana ajenda dhabiti ya maendeleo na badala yake wanajikita katika siasa za upinzani zisizo na tija kwa wananchi.
Wale majamaa wengine wanajaribu kunifanyia maneno, muniwachie. Mimi nitapambana, nitawanyorosha asubuhi na mapema. Wale watu bana. Sasa niwaulize nyinyi watu wa Kirinyaga, mkipima hiyo watu, kuna mtu size yangu kwa hiyo watu? Mtu ambaye hana maono, hana sera, hana mpango, hana agenda. Ati ile kazi kubwa akili yake inafika ni kuniita kasongo na kusema one term na kusema must go. Sasa hiyo ni mtu ambaye atashindana na kweli na mimi? Ukimuuliza mambo ya kahawa, hajui. Mambo ya kilimo, hajui. Mambo ya barabara, hajui. Mambo ya affordable housing, hajui. Mambo ya matibabu, hajui.
Naibu Rais Kithure Kindiki amesifu juhudi za Rais William Ruto katika kufufua sekta ya kahawa nchini, akisema hatua hizo zimeanza kuleta mabadiliko chanya kwa wakulima.
Mahali ulikuta kahawa 2022 sio mahali iko saa hii. Negwo kana tegwo. Ni kweli si kweli? 2022 kahawa ilikuwa shilingi 50, shilingi 55. Leo ni shilingi 110, 120, 130, 140, 150. Hata kaunti zingine zimeanza kupata 160. Na nipongeze kaunti zetu kwa kuendelea kukuza kahawa, na pia zile kaunti ambazo zimeanza kukuza kahawa, karibuni. Na nikupongeze Rais kwa kupanua ukuzi wa kahawa katika nchi yetu. Now we have 35 counties out of 47 which are growing coffee. Very soon coffee is going to be the cash crop of Kenya, and Kenya is going to be a coffee country.
Nikiripotia Radio Generation, langu jina ni Kimeli Arap Yego.
Asante sana Kimeli kwa taarifa hiyo. Tukisonga mbele, muungano wa wachapishaji wa vitabu nchini umedokeza kwa usambazaji wa vitabu vya gredi ya 11 utaanza mwezi Septemba mwaka huu Akizungumza jijini Nairobi, mwenyekiti wa muungano huo Musyoki Muli amesema kuwa vitabu vya wanafunzi wanaohamia darasa la 11 mwaka ujao tayari vimekamilika na viko tayari kusambazwa. Aliongeza kuwa kwa sasa wachapishaji wameelekeza juhudi zao katika utayarishaji wa vitabu na vifaa vya kujifunzia vya darasa la 12. Pia aliitaka serikali kulipa deni la shilingi bilioni 9.2 linalodaiwa na wachapishaji.
Just to update you that we are on top in terms of the book publishing. We are in the process of producing the books for grade 11, which already, as we talk, are in the production department, right from publishing to printing, and now the dissemination of the same information now to the market.
Actually, what we're working on now, right on the tables of editors, is grade 12. Grade 11 must be distributed from September because it takes around a month to print and to package for every school in this country. So the notifications framework agreements have already been given to publishers that have completed corrections.
Na nikitamatisha, waziri mkuu wa Uingereza Keir Starmer ametangaza kuwa atajiuzulu nafasi ya waziri mkuu na uongozi wa chama cha Labour baada ya kukumbwa na shinikizo kubwa ndani ya chama hicho. Starmer ambaye alishika wadhifa huo tarehe 5 Julai mwaka 2024 ameahidi kumuunga mkono kikamilifu mrithi wake ili kuhakikisha kuna makabidhiano ya madaraka kwa utaratibu na amani. Uteuzi wa kugombea nafasi ya uongozi wa Labour Party na hivyo waziri mkuu wa Uingereza utafunguliwa Julai 9 mwaka huu. Kinara anayeonekana kuwa na nafasi kubwa zaidi na aliyekuwa meya wa Manchester Andy Burnham, ambaye anarejea bungeni baada ya kushinda uchaguzi mdogo uliofanyika Jumapili.
The question my party is asking now is whether I am best placed to lead us into the next general election. I have heard the answer of my parliamentary party to that question, and I accept that answer with good grace. Every decision I've taken has been about putting the country I love first. That is why I will resign as leader of the Labour Party. I have spoken to His Majesty the King this morning to inform him of my decision. I will ask the National Executive Committee of the Labour Party to set out a timetable with nominations opening on the 9th of July and completed by the summer recess. In the case of a contest, this will ensure a new leader is in place before Parliament returns in September. I will remain in post as Prime Minister until the contest is complete. And I will do everything I can to ensure an orderly handover of power. I will also give my successor my full and unequivocal support, knowing that they will inherit a Britain that is far stronger and fairer than the one I inherited 2 years ago, better prepared for the challenges ahead, and better able to ensure the Labour Party secures a second term in office.
Na kufikia hapo mtazamaji, sina budi ila kutamatisha taarifa zetu za saa 1 jioni. Habari zaidi ni hapo saa 3. Kwa sasa ninachukua hii fursa kukutakia usiku mtulivu. Ninafahamika kama Dahira Ahmed. Kwaheri.
Business news on Radio Generation.
Good evening, I am Dahira Ahmed. Kenya is set to establish a national cybersecurity agency after Parliament approved a new law creating the body. The agency will lead the country's efforts to fight cybercrime and protect key digital systems from growing cyber threats. It will coordinate cybersecurity operations among government institutions, security agencies, regulators, private companies, universities, and international partners. According to the Interior Ministry, the new agency will help Kenya better prevent, detect and respond to cyber attacks targeting critical infrastructure and online services. And money sent home by Kenyans abroad fell by 1.2% between January and May this year to 267.6 billion shillings, down from 271 billion shillings during the same period last year. In May alone, remittances dropped by 10.4% to 51 billion Kenyan shillings from 57 billion Kenyan shillings in May 2025, marking the second straight monthly decline. Experts blame the drop on the ongoing Middle East conflict and labor market disruptions in Saudi Arabia, which have affected many Kenyans working in the Gulf. And that's all we have for business news. For more business updates, go on to radiogeneration.co.ke. Good evening. I am Dahira Ahmed.
That's the business on Radio Generation. This is Radio Generation. Home comfort tips brought to you by Tile and Carpet.
Kitchen floors handle a lot. From splashes to spills, foot traffic, and everyday movement. Choose tiles and flooring that are easy to clean, comfortable underfoot, and super steady to avoid slips and falls.
Home comfort tips brought to you by the Tile and Carpet Big Annual Sale. #Bring it home. This is Radio Generation. This week, power was tested in the corridors of leadership, economies shook under pressure, and the voices of ordinary citizens demanded to be heard. From breaking decisions in high office to protests in the streets, from moments of triumph to tragedies that stopped us in our tracks, these are the headlines that shaped our week. And beyond the noise, we search for what really matters, the connections, the context, the stories behind the stories. And this is your weekly news roundup on Radio Generation, where every headline has a heartbeat and every moment counts.
You are absolutely right. A very good evening to you. This is Radio Generation, and my name is Mungala Mbuvi. It is time for the Generation Report, where we tell you everything that has been happening in the last couple of days, 7 days to be precise. And as usual, I am joined by Hanifa Dan. Hanifa, how are you doing?
I'm good. Salama.
How was your weekend?
It was nice. Imetulia.
Good stuff. In studio, we are joined by DAPK leader, that is Honorable Eugene Wamalwa. This is your second time to Radio Generation, Mheshimiwa. How are you doing? Welcome to Radio Generation.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be back here.
Nice to see you. Strong as always. Always good stuff to say about our country. We're just having a conversation with Mahesh by the out there, and I was asking him about Honorable Martha Karua. How is she doing, considering what she has just faced in Uganda?
Yeah, she had a very rough day today in Uganda.
Right.
She was out there on official duty. She's a senior counsel, a lawyer. She's been representing Kizza Besigye.
Right.
As you recall, he was abducted right here in Nairobi and taken to Uganda and court-martialed and put in prison. As we speak, it's almost 500 days since Besigye went into prison. So Martha has been there with a team of Ugandan lawyers and some Kenyan lawyers to try and get him out. Yesterday, we were at this Gen Z church function at the Baptist.
Right.
And she told us she was leaving for Uganda this morning. But she was getting some very worrying signals that she was not wanted in Uganda and probably should be arrested. So she mentioned to Kalonzo and I, and we said we'll stay alert in case that happens. This morning I got a call that she was actually being held within the Entebbe International Airport.
Yes.
She was not allowed to leave the airport to go to Kampala to access her clients. And she was blocked. Basically, she was held there for hours. And later on, she was deported back to the country. And she landed here, I think, around 4 or 5.
Okay.
We received her at her home. I've just come from there. She's safe. She was traumatized. But Martha is a fighter. She's well and with her family. We will be issuing an official statement tomorrow as the opposition here. To condemn what happened. We're also expecting the Law Society of Kenya to protest what has happened in Uganda. We also expect the East African Law Society to equally protest, because what is happening really is making a mockery of the East African Treaty that allows free movement of people and services, including legal services. And the right to counsel is a right that is both in the Kenyan constitution and in the Ugandan constitution. As you do recall, Dr. John Haminu Andai represented President Museveni during the petition, the first presidential petition in 2001. I was a very young lawyer then. And we went there with Dr. John Haminu to represent Museveni against the same Kizza Besigye. So Museveni picked Kenyan lawyers. We crossed the border. We were given practicing licenses. We represented him. And Kizza Besigye has done the same. He's gotten Kenyan lawyers. And what we want to tell President Museveni, who's a leader and an elder in this region, is that what is good for the goose is good for the gander. So if Kenyan lawyers were good for him to represent him during this his own petition, then Kenyan lawyers are good to represent Besigye. And he should allow, in the spirit of the East African Treaty, free movement of people and services, including legal services, and the right to representation by counsel of his choice of Kizza Besigye should not be curtailed.
But Mesh, why is this happening to Martha now? This is not the first time she's been to Uganda. I think sometime last week she even visited the prison, as much as she wasn't allowed to get inside, and she has been to the courts there over and over. Why is this happening now? What has changed? Is this something that you can tell us?
I think what is happening is that pressure has been brought to bear on the government to release Besigye. And you can see now the government there harassing the lawyers of Besigye, which would actually affect his defense and therefore his right to a fair trial. It's not just Martha. You remember his other lawyer was arrested. As we speak, both Martha and her colleague have been actually on the front line fighting for Besigye's rights, including challenging the right by Besigye to be tried by a civil court, a civilian court, and instead of a military court. Instead of being court-martial, being a civilian, he should be. And this matter went up to the Supreme Court. I think there was a ruling made. But there's a clear attempt to curtail that right of representation and fair trial by Besigye. And I believe this is what is happening. So I think Martha having come back and her colleague being in prison, Besigye is exposed in terms of his representation in this case, which is something I believe as lawyers and we're talking of both Kenyan and Ugandan lawyers. I think from today the pressure will be brought to bear on the government to respect human rights, to respect also their own constitution.
Do you think Kenya is also headed there? We have Uganda and Tanzania having their main opposition locked up. Also, I think this hunting down of human rights and lawyer from the East Africa. Okay, I would not say what I want to say, but the dictators are in hand, trying to work together to curtail, of course, free movement, democracy. And do you think Kenya is also headed there?
Actually, Kenya is not just heading there. Kenya is benchmarking with the two states. And you do recall that when Besigye was arrested right here in Nairobi, he had come as a guest of Martha Karua. You remember Martha was launching her book. Besigye has been here many other times. And there was some arrangement between the Kenyan government and the Ugandan government. They colluded to actually get Besigye abducted from Nairobi. And
also Maria.
Yes, and Maria was, and you remember, the Tanzanians also colluded with the Kenyan government. So Nairobi is becoming really a hotbed of abductions, extrajudicial killings, and forced disappearances, and this now spreading across East Africa. When you listen to President Samia Suluhu speak, you know that there's communication between her and our President William Ruto. And she was talking about, the Gen Z of Kenya. Wakija huku ana suluhu ya kuwanyorosha. Wakija huku ndugu yake William, ndugu yake mdogo hawanyoroshe. Wakienda Uganda, wanyoroshe na Museveni. So what we are seeing in East Africa is a very frightening phenomenon of rising authoritarianism that is actually an existential threat to our democracy. not just in Kenya, but in the entire region. And there is collusion between these three presidents.
Okay.
And Kenya is clearly benchmarking with the two.
Okay.
And this is where we're headed, unless we actually rise up as Kenya and say no. Kenya is not Tanzania, Kenya is not Uganda. Kenya has been the cornerstone of democracy in the region.
The big brother.
Yes. So we cannot allow this president to erode those credentials, our democratic credentials. They are impeccable. Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of which, 25th of June, I believe it's this Thursday, Kenyans have said that they will remember their brothers and sisters that, were lost during, Maandamano 2024. The government has really come out, from the president to the CS to the government spokesman, saying that, look, you guys can go ahead and have your meetings, but, don't cross this line, because once you do it, mtanyoroshwa. And if they've even said they know politicians who might want to even infiltrate these particular peaceful demonstrations. What are your thoughts on these government utterances? Because pia tulipromisiwa kunyoroshwa if things do go haywire.
Yeah, also, I think MP Wamolo Kuria, he didn't even say nyoroshwa. He said ksh, ksh, meaning to kill.
Yes.
Okay. And I find that really reckless and ridiculous.
So what Anifa is saying shocked me yesterday, because I saw him actually do the expression like wachinju. And that man is still walking around free. I don't know what the NCIC is doing, because someone like that should have recorded a statement by now.
Yeah.
Because he's threatening these young people. And these are not empty threats. You do recall last year when they were marking the first anniversary. I was there with my brother Kalonzo Musyoka.
Yes.
At the invitation, and we marched with them just to go and lay wreaths at Parliament, where these young people were killed.
Yes.
And the amount of force used, the police, the barbed wire, the harassment that went on. Do you know, at the end of the day, it was a day that was meant to commemorate these fallen heroes.
Yes.
Today, IPOA confirmed that last year, in the June commemoration, 27 people lost their lives.
Last year.
Last year.
Okay.
And this is a commemoration. Here, people come in to remember and to honor the fallen heroes. Then they are brutalized by the same police. They lost life and limbs. And now it is official from the IPOA report, 27 lost their lives. You remember before, after the June demos.
Yes.
We had Sabasaba.
Yes, we did.
Now, Sabasaba, today the IPOA report confirms 30 people lost their lives during Sabasaba.
Yes.
I think it's even underreported.
It is underreported. Of course, when you hear a government report, it is definitely suppressed. And but coming from IPOA itself, it's such a tragedy that after losing, they gave a report of 62 who died on 25th June 2024.
Yes.
Then you come to June 2025, and 27 are killed, going to remember and honor their 62. Then you come in a span of just a month, in July.
Sabasaba,
between 25th and Sabasaba, it's less than a month.
Yes, it is.
So you have 27, then you have 30 killed. So you have almost a similar number of 62, almost 60 people being killed, honoring their fallen heroes. So when people like Kimani speak in the manner that these are not empty threats, when the president himself starts warning these young people, then the deputy president Kindiki warns the same young people.
The CS
Isaac Mwaura.
Yes, the CS Interior Murkomen warns the same people. PS Raymond Amolo warns the same young people. This afternoon we are hearing the government spokesperson. This is meant to intimidate the young people not to come out, not to honor their fallen comrades. And what we want to tell this government, it's not really them to tell Kenyans how they should honor their heroes. And you know, the right to protest under Article 37 does not depend on the generosity of the state. When you listen to these people, it's like, oh, now we've given you 3 million each. We don't want to see on the streets. No, these people should be allowed. They have not healed. Yesterday, as we were celebrating Father's Day.
Yes.
Now, it was not a very happy Father's Day for the fathers who lost their children.
True.
One of them was Rex Masai's father. He was with us throughout the service, and he spoke to us and he spoke to the country. And he's saying, well, this compensation of 3 million is not enough. What we want is justice. We want those investigations done, those people who killed our children arrested.
Yes.
We want justice to be done. We want them held accountable for what they did.
Yes.
Because they are going to do it again. If you're using taxpayers' money, okay, this money is not coming from their pockets. It's not coming from Ruto's pockets. Now, it is taxpayers' money. You allocate it. It is paid. So you kill. The same government kills. The same government pays from the taxpayers' money. And there's no element of being held to account for what they did.
Because
what will they do?
Yeah.
They will kill others and say, okay, we'll allocate some more money towards that. Now, where is the justice for these victims? This is what we are asking. And we are telling them this issue of them trying to intimidate families.
Yes.
Trying to tell them, don't do or do it like this. Or it is not their business for government to tell people how they should protest or how they should commemorate their fallen heroes, or to say we have now given you permission to protest. It's not for the government to give that permission. That is guaranteed by our constitution.
Yes.
And it does not depend on the generosity of the state. This is what we want to tell this government, because looking at all these big people in government, pointing fingers, threatening these young people. We as the United Alternative Government are saying this must stop, this intimidation must stop, and they should respect the constitutional right of anyone who wishes to come out on Thursday.
Yes.
Including the families of the victims, including friends of the victims, including leaders and the citizens who want to come out. It is their right. What the police should do is provide security.
Yes.
Because what has been happening is that the police have gone into bed with the goons. So this goonism, this culture, is being used to actually erode those constitutional rights. That if you come out on the streets to enjoy your constitutional right to protest, there will be goons waiting for you.
Mahesh, let me ask you, because I mean, you have been in government before. Maybe help us understand how difficult is it for a government to just clamp down on some of these issues that we are facing? Is it difficult because some of the officers have been identified? Witnesses have said it is OCS so and so. Others know it is, this particular officer from this particular station, but nothing seems to be done about those particular individuals. If anything, in some instances, those police officers have been transferred to other regions, and that seems like the only reprieve the community is receiving. How difficult is it really to just act?
It's difficult because they are protected by the same government. They are the ones protecting them. And you do recall after the Gen Z protests and the heavy clampdown, the president himself came on national television and said, these are dangerous criminals. That gave a signal, a shoot to kill order, and these officers did what they did. CS Interior gave the same orders. It is later on that they climbed down from the shoot to kill to shoot in the leg. Now, if these officers have been told to do this, they will be protected by the same people who gave them the green light to do it. And this is what is happening. They will never be held to account. Remember the photos we had, the videos we had. Officers going down on their knees and taking aim at unarmed young people. These faces are known. And though some had masks, there are those who had no masks. How come these people have not been arrested up to now?
It's a good question.
And you look at what happened. This government does not intend to change. Whatever they said in 2024, they have not changed. Because and this is something we must take responsibility also as leaders. Because you remember when we did the Azimio demonstrations in 2023.
Yes, the Sufuria Revolution.
Yes, the Sufuria Revolution. And when things came to to a point where the situation was getting very serious, there was pressure for national dialogue.
Yes.
Then we went to Bomas. I was one of those who went to Bomas. There were 10 of us. 5 from the Azimio side, 5 from the government side. And when the issues came to the table now, the government side did not want to address the real issues, the issues of cost of living, the issues of heavy taxation. And all they were keen on were the positions, creating of a position for the leader of opposition and 2 deputies. And if we were to say, okay, Raila was the leader of opposition, say Kalonzo and Wamalo were the other 2 deputies, we were given government offices, government vehicles and salaries. And you have Mudavadi, the prime cabinet secretary, being now given a formal office.
Yes.
Because now as we speak, that office has not been formalized.
Okay.
So we create that office of a prime, put it in the constitution, address the issue of 2/3 gender by creating more women repositions. In fact, the proposal was that instead of having 47, we double the number. So we have 2 women reps per county. And that would address the 2/3 gender. So it was about creating more and more positions. It was politically expedient for the political class. But the real Wanjiku issues were never addressed.
Okay.
And they refused, they dug in. And when it came to now signing that report, I was one of I think I was the only one who declined to sign the report. And we say, these people didn't go to the streets to die for Mudavadi to get an office, or Amalo, or Kalonzo, or Raila. But we let Kenyans down in 2023.
Okay.
At the NADCO, we let off William Ruto very easily. But at the time, our ODM friends were already getting into bed with the government. And there was the package for them to receive a share in government. That's when they put in their experts. And now we are hearing that even some of the things, some of the goodies, the G2G deals that we were attacking, that removed that open tender system that was open and transparent. And you have a few people going to Dubai and closing a deal, then extending it. And we have a situation where we let off William Ruto very easily. Had we done what we should have done at Bomas, what happened in 2024 would not have happened.
Okay.
So as leaders,
you didn't push hard enough?
No, we did not. We let Kenyans down, and I think we owe, particularly our young people, an apology for that, because we let William Ruto off so easily at Bomas during that NADCO thing. This is what led to a worse finance bill in 2024. And this is what now made the young people come out, knowing very well that there was no one to speak for them.
I actually agree if you put it that way.
Yes.
I agree with you 100%.
Yes.
Speaking of the finance bill, 186 MPs were not in parliament to vote for or against the finance bill.
Yes.
What on earth is happening?
It's an abdication. The cardinal responsibility of any member of parliament.
Legislation.
First of all, is representation. You're supposed to represent the people who are suffering out there.
Okay.
Because of the heavy taxation, the minute we doubled VAT on fuel in 2023, this is where the rain started beating us. Then the following year we added, the road maintenance levy, the 7 shillings, pushed from 18 to 25 shillings. So everything just kept going from bottom up. And we allowed this to happen. But had we put our foot down at Bomas, what Ruto did the other day, during this war, he would have done it at Bomas. We said just take VAT only, first of all, back to where Uhuru left at 8%. That would have brought fuel prices down. And once fuel prices go up, the cost of living go across the board. So he refused. He said not a shilling. I told his MPs, you don't remove a corner, a comma, or a full stop, it must pass. So 2024, the finance bill again passed. When the Gen Z were at the gates of parliament, their MPs could hear them, but they went ahead. And this is what infuriated the young people to break into parliament. And I can tell you today, those 186 members of parliament, most of them had to run when the real owners of Kenya came into parliament.
Yes.
Some of them, I'm told even the speaker, left in an ambulance. Things were thick.
Yes.
And that parliament was actually impeached by the Gen Z
right.
At that time. But rather than be seen to be voting for, because they didn't even know what would happen if they could come back, 186 members abdicated. They literally fled.
So this is Gen Z phobia.
Yes, it is still there. What was achieved? You know, people might say, "Oh," but these young people are still here. They are watching what is happening. They're even more angry than before. So these fellows, of course, they have an election coming.
Right.
We have quite a number of young people who have now gotten IDs, who have registered as voters. So rather than be seen voting, yes, they took off. So what we're seeing is an abdication, a parliament that is captured, that is not representative of the will of the people. And we are also getting very worried that the only line of defense, or the last line of defense for this country now, is the judiciary. We're seeing pressure now bearing on the judiciary. And if the judiciary is overcome also, then literally our democracy is in danger.
Our goose is cooked.
Speaking of that, Sasa, this is a genuine question also from me. We've seen Ndindi Nyoro very vocal against the finance bill.
Yes.
He's been very vocal against a lot of things happening around. But when the time came for him to actually do the real representation, when the time came for him to show how, you know, in action rather than words, he was not there. He faced a lot of backlash, came online to explain he was not in the country when the voting was happening. So I don't understand. That is when where the mistrust comes in between the people and the opposition. Most feel like wanatumia watu tu for leverage. I don't know, to find a proper solid ground for their own interest. So I don't come and Ndindi Nyoro. I don't know if you're friends.
Yeah, we are good friends. I was equally surprised.
Yeah, I feel like it's because a form of betrayal, and
it's true. It's true. I think we, the political class, have betrayed the country. I think we have fallen short of the expectations of Kenyans, and whatever is politically expedient to us, is what we would do. And literally abandon the people. Because there's no greater responsibility for a member of parliament than that representation of the will of the people through that house, that legislation, and the oversight. Because if you are not there, and all these millions of Kenyans cannot all come to that parliament to express their will, you are supposed to represent their will, but you are not. Instead, you are captured to go with what the executive wants. So we have a problem, and the backlash Ndindi suffered, I think, should teach them that Kenyans are watching and they know who are genuine and who are not.
Yes.
And if you play around with Kenyans, they would call you out. Yeah, I think it's been a very rough week for him. He tried to apologize, but he could not have.
Yeah, I don't think there's any excuse for that. That day really mattered a lot.
Yes.
And as someone who has that representative legislative power, he would have, made that change. It matters even if it is one vote. Especially for someone that has been extremely loud about it.
Yes.
Naona tu anacheza na emotions za watu. The emotions are very high. People are in need of genuine people, genuine opposition. So I
genuine
feel like,
leadership.
Yeah, genuine leadership. I feel like they take advantage of that most of the time. Even kuja online kusema, give me the likes and I will table an impeachment
motion.
And he didn't do it. He didn't even do it. So
no, that's my MP, by the way. Caleb Amis is my MP in Saboti.
Yeah, they need to show up where it
like
matters.
I said, he's going to do it. No, I'm going to ask him. I knew he's asking, where is the impeachment motion?
I think it's very serious and a fight for our lives. And I feel they don't take it as seriously as we do. It is a fight for our lives. It's not about our emotions, our rage being taken advantage of. You must show up where it matters. That is real leadership. Showing up. Yes.
Speaking of which, right now, as far as Linda Mwananchi is concerned, Edwin Sifuna has officially been removed as Secretary General of ODM party. what does this mean going forward now for the Linda Mwananchi faction that is currently having this bromance with the opposition?
Also, sorry to add to the question. I was following up with your interview yesterday, and you hinted at you hinted at partnership with Linda Mwananchi and how the oppositions are going to come together and pick one flag bearer. So the partnership with Linda Mwananchi, is this something that is cooking, ama you're expecting?
It's actually cooking, and we've been engaging with Kina Sifuna, Kina Orengo, Kina Otsotsi, and the issue is that we were all together in Azimio. We're all with Baba. We all fought William Ruto. But as I said, I think something happened at Bomas when ODM now started shifting towards entering into a post-election arrangement with the UDA. I think some of us in the opposition felt this was a betrayal of Kenyans, and I think Martha Karua was the first one. PLP actually left Azimio. I went to Bomas. I did my best. Then I realized probably they were behind Nyuma Hema talks that were going on.
Right.
And the real issues were not, we didn't do justice to the real issues. So I declined to sign that report. And from Bomas, we started having a fallout in Azimio. And I declined to sign that report. And that fallout led to actually DAP Kenya, my party, also leaving Azimio. Because we found it was no longer tenable. Because what brings us together as a coalition is really a shared vision and shared values. And so if you're going into bed with the oppressor,
right,
then what more do we have in terms of shared values? And
there's
nothing holding us together. If you are abandoning the young people, and today you're saying, you want to tell your supporters in ODM not to go to the streets on the 25th. Then what are you doing? I mean, there are those freedoms that Raila fought for. That people should be free to express themselves. People should be free to associate with whoever they want to.
Very true.
And people should be free to come out and protest where they're unhappy with these ever-rising taxes and cost of living and corruption and insecurity. People should be allowed to come out. And so when you're saying, because you are with William Ruto, if you allow them, it will displease him. Surely then you have abandoned the people. You have abandoned the cause.
Yes.
That and the values that brought us together, those democratic values that were out to defend the human rights and all the fundamental freedoms that we have fought for. Then there's no longer anything holding us together. It's like a marriage. At that point, you feel like the marriage has broken down irretrievably. And even the law allows that marriage to end. So this is what happened. But amongst those in ODM, there are those who have stuck to the values and the original goals. And that is why the entire ODM, when they now moved from Azimio to the broad-based government, and they signed a post-election pact in March, there were some who did not wholly embrace that agreement and the new partnership. And we had two factions now. So there is this faction that went back to the ground to say, Linda ground. So that they want to Linda the ground that was ODM strongholds in Nyanza, in Western, in the coast, in Nairobi. So that they Linda that ground, but they Linda it for who? For William. Because they are now in this government together.
Yes.
But there are those who felt we cannot Linda. We don't want to Linda William Ruto. We want to Linda the Mwananchi.
Yes.
So now these are our friends, with whom we still share those. We have
Values.
those values, and we've been encouraging them and telling them that just the way we thought it was untenable to continue having this Azimio thing with the differences, then it will be a point will come when it will be untenable for you to continue being in ODM. And I think that time has come for Sifuna and his group. They had said they wanted to, deal with the issues, their own internal issues.
Yes, as ODM.
As ODM, because there are two ODM factions. And I think it's coming to to the end. Wanasema mbio za sakafuni huishia ukingoni. Nafikiri kwenye ODM hizo mbio zimefika ukingoni now. Sifuna and his group must make the decision now. And we are urging them that the time has come. We just have 1 month. This July, and we enter the election year, which starts running on 10th of August. So they still have time to reorganize themselves and to come and join us. Because whether they're Linda Mwananchi or United Opposition, we are all one term. And we have reasons why we are saying, 1 term of these killings of the Gen Z and human rights violations is 1 term too many. 1 term of this runaway corruption is 1 term too many. 1 term of this rising cost of living and over is 1 term too many. And this regime knows no other way. The only way is up.
Yes.
And we must send them home 1 term. So let them come so that we move together. And I can assure you tonight, as I said yesterday, that we are both 1 term, Linda Mwananchi and the United Opposition. But the time has come now for us to be 1 team.
All right.
Not just 1 term, but 1 team. The day we do that, William Ruto's days in power will be numbered. And the path we are following is the 202 path. Because you remember we had Wamalo and Kibaki and Gilu holding the opposition together as NK. Then Raila had again gone into government with Moi. You remember the cooperation, government of national unity. But he now left government with Nakalonzo, Professor Saitoti, Kinamudi Awari. They now moved out as LDP to come and join NK. And they used to call themselves Rainbow. So NK and Rainbow came together to form the National Rainbow Coalition. So this is what we want to tell Kenyans tonight, listening to us, that history is repeating itself. And we are going to come together. We are also going to agree that to beat William Ruto, we must all unite. Whatever parties we come from, or regions or religions, we must all come together. Secondly, we must field a joint candidate against William. If we divide, then
there's a problem.
Yes, it will happen. Like in 92, we lost. 97, we lost to Moi because it was a divided opposition. So for this, we are prepared to sacrifice our personal ambitions to ensure we achieve this goal. And we are not just looking at our friends from ODM. We are also looking at the Gen Z. We have been having challenges because there are those. And Hanifa, here you can play
aggressively leaderless.
you can help us because if you remain leaderless, William might just remain your leader. But if we come together, so that it's not just a Gen Z thing, but it's a Gen Zote approach. If we all come together, young and old, who all believe that surely another term of William Ruto, there will be no country left.
I think young people are already aligning with different political parties, especially with Linda Mwananchi. We've seen so many young people there.
That's great.
I guess we are now moving to the real politics.
That is okay.
I guess, we've
yes, but don't mind us old foggies, because there are those who say we don't want to deal with these old people. you know, if the young Turks of the 90s did not come back, together with the old guard, the Jaramogis, the Matibas, the Martin Shikukus, we would never have achieved the second liberation.
Yeah,
it is that they had this Gen Zote approach where all generations came together. And it was an all-hands-on-deck approach. This is how we were able to remove Kanu after 40 years from power.
Imagine that.
It is the same approach we must take.
Yeah.
Because to do less would only lead to regrets.
You said Caleb Amisi is your MP.
Yes, he is.
We had a conversation with him maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he said that when they were forming Linda Mwananchi, really this wasn't their plan to join the United Opposition. Their plan was just to continue with what Baba had started, and that was to go all the way to the very top. That means presidency, not necessarily all these other coalition partnerships. When he said that, for a second, I was taken aback, because I was like, so what does this mean? Because he said that he even is thinking of starting his own party, or he said he called it a movement. Because I remember I asked him, what's the difference between a movement and a party? He said a movement is, a group of people heading towards one direction that is not necessarily a party. But eventually I know it's going to be a party anyway. What does this mean for the United Opposition? Because there are some who are saying, look, we will have one person. Others are saying, if it is not me, then it's no one else. Where are we really?
I think we'll need to look at how We lost in 92 and 97. It was because of that. It must be me. If it's not me, then
no one else.
Yes, no one else. This is how we lost, because Matiba felt he was more popular than Jaramogi. Jaramogi felt he was the senior most. Then Kibaki came here, the chance. They all lost to Moi. My brother in 97 could not agree with Raila. After Jaramogi died, they fought in Fort Kenya. Raila left. We split Fort Kenya. Ngilu said, Masai ni ya mama. She came in. Then Kibaki. So we all again lost. But when you look at the number of us, if you put together, Moi had just about 36%. And he still won.
You had 67.
Yes, but it was under the old constitution, which did not have 50+1. So we are saying even today, if, say, the young people were to say they go it alone, they don't want to work with the seasoned politicians, the formation that is there now, we have a two-horse formation of the broad-based government, which is the Okoa Ruto team.
Right.
Then we have the United Alternative Government, or the opposition, which is the Okoa Kenya team.
All right.
So if we were to all agree that we must Okoa Kenya, and there are those who want to Okoa Ruto, na wanapigana kulinda ground for Ruto, then you must choose which side. If you want to Komboa Kenya, then you must come to the side that is saying he must go home one time.
Okay.
Now, to create a third horse is to actually help William Ruto win. The minute we split and there's a third horse in between, the vote will be split, and even just the impression that the opposition is divided. Now, even if he does not win, have you listened to Oscar Sudi speak?
Yes.
Until hata zipojaa tutajaza. The minute you give Ruto a divided opposition, you've given him a chance to actually manipulate that vote just by saying, oh, you see, hawa tawanyorosha asubuhi mapema, hawana akili, hawana agenda, sasa hawana umoja. The minute we give him that, he'll play on that division to now say it's because they could not agree, sinimewanyorosha. Even if he does not actually win, he'll manipulate that vote. So we are talking to our younger brothers, and we are urging them that we must adopt that musketeer spirit that I said, one for all and all for one, so that we just remove this bad regime, this corrupt regime with its failed policies in health. Mambo ya SHA is not working, failed policies in education is in a mess. If you actually believe that needs to be done, then you must be ready to sacrifice. And I think it was Madison who said in the US that if we are a nation of angels, then we'll not need the government. So if you are looking for angels, actually...
I agree. I agree with you that people must unite.
Yes.
But there are two concerns, sir. Firstly, how does the united opposition handle the conflict of interest? You see, you're saying people must sacrifice.
Yes.
Na kama kuna wenye hawataki kabisa, it's ni wao ama the highway. Like wamekata kabisa. The second one is, what if there are people in the united opposition that are using this as a leverage to bargain, for their own interest with the government or with Ruto? How do you prevent such things from happening? Sasa unaona concerns kama hiyo.
No, it's true.
Leo you follow this person thinking they are messiah, we are together fighting the good fight, and then unamka kesho ameruka. So the concerns kama hizo, I think it's what is keeping the majority of people away or in a lukewarm political situation.
It actually makes sense because I can tell you tonight, the day we had the harshest maandamano, and I think we're in the Mathare Valley, we almost killed there. They surrounded us and blocked, and then they were now not just tear gas, they were using live bullets, meaning in that crossfire, any one of us could have been shot. They say, we don't know who shot you. And after that, we heard that Baba had gone to Mombasa to meet Ruto. So what Anifo you're saying is a possibility. Today we can be like where. Then tomorrow one of us has gone to meet Ruto.
Is meeting Ruto in Mombasa.
And
especially wa flag bearer mwenyewe anaweza pata ameenda kwa Ruto.
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
But also where we have reached, I think we all realize what is at stake. Because if in the first term the Ruto regime has done this kind of damage, what if he got a second term where he does not need anyone's vote? What can he do? You know, if you just try to imagine that, hata unapoteza usingizi at night. So the stakes are so high that we must be ready to accept that Kenya is bigger than all of us. And that to save our country, we must be ready to subordinate our personal ambition to the national interest of actually comboring this country. So for that, and if I can tell you tonight, we have reflected and we have come to the conclusion that if it is not Eugene Wamalwa, I will support whoever we agree on, as long as we have that agreed agenda and a fair process of identifying that candidate. And those are the principles that we are saying guided the NAC movement. The Ford movement failed because of that personal ambition, the egos, they could not agree. But the NAC movement succeeded because of that approach that Kenya is bigger than all of us. Secondly, that we must have a gather all and scatter none kind of approach. Some of the things you're saying that maybe Caleb is saying, or some of the young people are saying that no, we can't gather together with these oldies. Let's go our own way. Now, unless we have that gather all and scatter none, whoever is for one term and is with us.
Yes.
No matter how old, or no matter whether he's Muslim or Christian or young or old or woman, or as long as they believe that another term of William Ruto would really mess up this country, then let us come together. And let's not just be saying one time in that corner, one time in the other corner. Let these one-term groups become one team. The day the one-term teams groups become one team, that's the day we'll drive William home. So for this, I think, let's not take hard positions, whether you're young or old, or, let us look at the bigger picture and know that we need that all hands on deck approach and that Gen Zote approach. This is the only formula that will work. There's no other formula. Any one of us trying to take on William Ruto individually will not make it. The kind of war chest this president has amassed in the last 3 years, globally, he's been ranked as one of the richest presidents, not just in Africa. In the world, he is amongst the top 11 richest presidents. So if you are talking of billions, Akonazo. But a people united cannot be defeated by those billions. If we all come together, we'll drive him home. But if we split, he will get a second term.
Muhesh, how will the opposition decide it's Wamalwa or it's Karua or it's whoever? I'm forgetting the people there. But how will you decide? Is
there a voting
will
process
you cross
or
a toying?
No, I think we have a team of experts that we've already engaged, and each party, each group would have a say in that process, so that it is fair, it's above board. But for now, what is holding us together is the guiding principles. But in terms of the methodology, the technical issues, I think those will come later. The question is not if we have agreed we must work together, stick together to the 10th of August 2027 and beyond, and we must, to win, we must have one candidate. We will all push that candidate. So I think we've agreed in principle. So the rest will leave it to the processes that will come to play. We've gone around the country. Last week I hosted my colleagues in Western Kenya.
Yes.
So the only region we haven't reached now is Northern Kenya, and we are planning to do Garissa. We want to do Marsabit, Isiolo, all the way to Wajir, Mandera. And we want to also start from Turkana, Pokot. So that is the only part of the country we haven't gone. So once we do that, we want to go into a retreat now to now start looking at the how we can have that lineup. And if we formally now have a structured engagement with Linda Mwananchi, we will definitely have to agree on the name of the coalition, the lineup of the coalition, and so many other things, that we have an all-inclusive team.
The manifesto now.
Yes, and the manifesto, that we already have a technical team that's working on the manifesto. Because the areas, in terms of policy changes, the fortunate thing is that we have a very strong team. Some of us were in the Kibaki administration. Some of us have been in the Uhuru administration. So when you're talking about policies, we know what policies are not working. We know what needs to be changed in the education, in the health, and all other sectors. So these are areas that will very quickly, no matter who the flag bearer will be guided by that raft of priority areas.
Okay.
And there's this professor in Oxford, a friend of mine once said that you know, science without policy is still science.
Yeah,
you can't change science; it remains. But policy without science and research is gambling. What we are seeing is a government that came into. It's as if they were not really sure they are going to win, and they came into power very unprepared.
Right.
And what you have are a trial and error kind of haphazard, half-baked policies. Oh, let's change this. Let's remove this Linda Mama. Let us change it with this. Let us bring this. So all this has led to actually several failed policies that we can see, those of us who have been in government. Because we've been in government, I was in the same cabinet with Ruto and Uhuru. We were with Ruto and Uhuru in the same cabinet, the government, the Jubilee. So we know the good policies that worked and the Kibaki policies that worked, and the policy changes that have occurred in the last 4 years with very disastrous consequences. So from day one, we know what needs to be done. And we want to promise Kenyans we will not let them down. We just want to urge the young people of this country. Waswahili wanasema kidole kimoja kiui chawa. It will need that seasoned kidole, those seasoned politicians, and the kidole, the young people, coming on board not as passengers but as partners. And we will sit and agree, including the cabinet, the number of young people who should be in that cabinet, the number of women who should be in these are issues we are ready to sit at the table and discuss.
I hope it won't be another boda mama mboga kind of situation. No, because watu walikuwa nadhani kuna mtu wa boda walai atakuwa cabinet secretary.
Aliambiwa hivyo.
No, actually aliwaambia bottom up, pesa mfukoni. Lakini hakuambia ni mfuko wa nani. That is where the problem.
There are Kenyans who are waiting to see a mama mboga as the CS for God knows what.
Yes.
A boda guy as
boda guy confessing.
Yes. But you know there are bodas with degrees.
Oh yes.
There are mama mbogas who have papers.
Oh,
so
yes.
if they were serious, particularly after the Gen Z revolution and him dissolving, everybody thought he was actually going to make major changes. Then he just recycled. There was no single Gen Z mama mboga who was put there. Akawarudisha tu. Kina Chirichiri, kina Murkomen wakarudisha.
Okay.
But it's his government, so he has a few months to go. But we have a real opportunity to change, to make significant changes. And this we can do if we all come together.
All right. Muhesh, I know this is not the last time we will see you, but for now we'll let you go.
Thank you very much.
You've said tomorrow we should wait for a statement from the opposition as far as Honorable Martha Karua's situation is concerned.
Yes, definitely. We're very unhappy the way Martha was treated. And she's a lawyer, and not just a lawyer, a senior counsel. And she's a former Minister of Justice. She preceded me as the Minister of Justice before I became Minister for Justice. She was there. And she was very critical, actually, in the constitutional review process. She's the one who actually started that process that led to the new constitution.
Okay.
So, one other thing that our Ugandan friends should know is that we believe Baba won this election. Had Baba actually been sworn in as president, Martha would be president today. Martha will be president today.
Yeah.
Martha can be president tomorrow. So the manner in which she was handled at Entebbe was terrible. And we have actually asked the Minister of Foreign Affairs, our High Commissioner in Uganda, Babu Namwamba, we must have a formal protest from the Kenyan government to the Ugandan authorities.
Okay.
And for us as the opposition, we are going to protest. We expect the Law Society of Kenya, the Law Society of East Africa to do the same.
All right.
Yes.
Next time we have you here, we'll talk about devolution, because you are also Minister of Devolution.
Yes. I'll be glad to come back, and I look forward to that.
All right. Sawa basi. We're taking a short break, folks, but we shall be right back in a few minutes with our other set of guests. Don't go too far.
Radio generation, the sound is fine. Pump it up, turn it high all the time. Let the music move you, let's sway. Radio G's got your jam all day.
Generation, the home of urban soul.
Radio Generation. 88 Generation. 88 AFM.
This is Radio Generation, your one-stop shop for your hip-hop hits. This week, power was tested in the corridors of leadership, economies shook under pressure, and the voices of ordinary citizens demanded to be heard. From breaking decisions in high office to protests in the streets, from moments of triumph to tragedies that stopped us in our tracks, these are the headlines that shaped our week. And beyond the noise, we search for what really matters, the connections, the context, the stories behind the stories. And this is your weekly news roundup on Radio Generation, where every headline has a heartbeat and every moment counts. The Sports Garage.
When you look at these countries play, Algeria, Morocco, Egypt, on the African continent, their teams are at the very top, but they're not good enough to play in the Moroccan national team. That tells you how much depth these two teams have.
The Sports Garage, fueling your Saturday afternoons with the fire of sport.
If you talk about economies in Africa, in East Africa, well, we are the biggest. We are the USA of East Africa. Until Tanzanians hear you. Sometimes it may not just be about the penalty, because people just look at, oh, you are given a penalty, you are denied a goal,
denied a penalty as well.
But referees can influence decisions. Like yesterday's game, that 12th guy for Morocco is from Mauritania, but he was playing for Morocco.
From the track to the pitch, from the court to the crowd, your Saturday afternoons belongs to the Sports Garage with Kariuki Thige and Sammy Mariah.
Good morning, my neighbor!
I am Siti Muga, and every weekday morning, we wake up Kenya with the conversations that matter.
And I'm Mungala Mbuvi. From 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., this is the People's Breakfast, where politics, society, and real life meet honest discussion.
We break down politics without fear.
Ask the hard questions.
We challenge power.
And give the people a voice, not noise.
From governance to the economy.
From culture to current affairs.
We don't sugarcoat, we tell it as it is.
So tune in, call in, speak up, be part of the conversation. Every weekday, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on the People's Breakfast.
Radio Generation, 88.8 Nairobi.
Back in my day, radio had flavor.
Back in your days, dinosaurs were trending.
Hey, respect the classics.
Only if the classics can survive Gen Z interrogations.
Okay, challenge accepted.
Welcome to the Retro Box, where old school meets new school fire.
That's right. From 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., it's nothing but pure old school vibes with Rania Abdi and Kariuki Thigi on Radio Generation.
Music, memories, madness. Stories from the days when people actually used to talk to each other.
And hot takes from the generation that actually questions literally everything.
I am Kariuki Thigi.
And I'm Rania Abdi. And this is the Retro Box.
This is Radio Generation.
Yes, indeed, this is Radio Generation. The time right now is exactly 12 minutes past 8 o'clock. In studio, apart from Hanifa Dan, of course, we do have our guest who has actually alifika kitambo sana, alikuwa anangoja tumalizane na Mheshimiwa Eugene. That is Honorable Gigi Kagombe. He is the Member of Parliament for Gatundu South. Mesh, good evening. Karibu tena sana to Radio Generation.
Niko salama kabisa, Mbuvi.
Yeah, nice to see you.
Yes.
How are things in Gatundu?
Gatundu iko salama. Iko salama.
Kuna mtu ameniambia nikuulize kama ulipiga kura wakati wa finance bill.
Sikupiga kura.
Where were you, Mhesh?
My CDF chairman had lost his child through a very terrible accident. He drowned on Sunday. And I was there. We were somewhere at a friend's place, and a small child, and we were there with our children, and one of his small child just lost his way. Actually, there's been a lot of stories going on social media because
about that situation. Yes,
yeah, and you must have seen it.
Yeah.
A lot of people try to take advantage of it. Very stupid of them. Some of them, my friends. Some of them just, I don't understand what has gotten to our heads about politics.
Yeah. What happened?
So on Sunday, one of our journalists, a presenter at Kameme, who is very anti-government and a great supporter of Rigathi Gachagua, but he's my friend, had a father who was sick, who had gone through an operation. And I talked to her and told her, because I know the man and I know the lady, I said, on Sunday we'll come and see your father. Tumlete mbuzi, apate supu. So we went to visit her.
Okay.
So we were at her house where the father was recuperating from leaving hospital, I think on Thursday. And now on Sunday we said, okay, now let's see him and tumpatie mbuzi kidogo. Just those normal things that people do. And we were many guys. There was myself and a guy called Alois who is vying in Juja, and amongst many friends. We were maybe about 15 people. And our children. So I was there with my son, and my chairman was there with his 2 sons, and many people had their children. And we were sitting at in a tent at the backyard, and that backyard has a swimming pool. And I even remember the lady had warmed the swimming pool because it said if our kids want to swim or something, then people can come and swim. Then unfortunately nobody was interested, so keen in swimming that day. So that meant that there was nobody at the swimming pool. So as we sat around at the backyard, because now we later came to evaluate or to watch the CCTV and see what happened. Then a kid just sneaked, a small child, 1 year, 10 months, just, child could just be walking, sneaked, and we lost sight of that child. And all of us were there, the mother, the father, all of us, and then lost sight of that child for about 3 minutes, and it was too late when we found the child had actually walked into the swimming pool and drowned.
Yeah.
So I will tell you, I've not attended Parliament since Tuesday. I didn't do committees on Monday. I've actually not even gone back to committee even today, because again, we buried the child on Friday, and then my stepmother passed on the same Friday. So I'm again into mourning, and I've not been able to attend any of those things. So, but I'll tell you, because I'm not afraid to say, because I voted for finance bill in 2024, 2025, 2026. I just didn't have time to go and vote, and I would have done what my conscience would have told me. So I didn't fail to vote because I was afraid of any repercussions or anything.
Gen Z kukusalimia maybe.
Because nilisalimiwa, lakini unajua mbuvi ni kuambia.
Yeah.
Mimi nimekuwa mwanaharakati. I joined politics. I started real active politics at the university.
Okay.
I was first elected in the year 2007 as the Secretary General of SONO by over 41,000 people. I have been in politics. And I am not afraid of Gen Zs. There's nothing new about Gen Zs. This thing is just it's just some people using politics or hiding behind a certain age of people. Young people have been involved in politics since time immemorial. Mau Mau did not have anybody in their 40s. Mau Mau was fought by people in their 20s and 30s. Very young people. My grandfather involved. My grandfather was in the forest fighting for Mau Mau. And everybody else who is in my ancestors, My own mother, who's now 82, and my dad, who's 90, were involved in Mau Mau, in the struggle as young children. They would be the people who used to ferry and, food, and everybody was involved.
Yeah.
There's nothing unique about young people being in politics. In fact, I would blame them for not getting into politics. I was involved in siasa ya chungwa. You can count backwards and see how old I was in 2005.
Right.
I was barely 21.
Wakati
and we were the guys, hii kiwanja ya Uhuru Park ikijaa, mimi ndo nilikuwa najaza. Sisi ndo tulikuwa tunaleta watu, mimi, Sakaja, all those guys. That time
watu wa Sonu.
It is known. You can go back to and angalia kwa kumbukumbu utatupata hapo. There's nothing unusual about young people being in politics. I don't know. It's just someone came and made these people, the current generation, feel very special. But it is a good thing. And what I say is that if the young people are not involved in politics, and we used to say, you remember KJ?
Yes.
When we were doing something, we used to be somewhere here on Ngong Road doing something called Youth Agenda. Youth Agenda was led by guys who were barely 25. It was us, Lydia Mathea, you know, na watu wengi, akina Pauline Njoroge, akina Mutiga, akina Ben Karuga, akina Martha Wangari, akina Alex Washira, huyu mwenye ni waziri wa energy, akina waziri wa shamba, huyu Nixon Koril. A whole, you know, people, akina Ngati, akina Joe Kioko, akina nani, all of us, KU, Dindi Nyoro, Kagushia, Kweyu, many guys who were very active in politics. You know, Halkano Huka alikuwa Desta, huyu jamaa mwenye ana lead private securities authority, anaitwa Fazul, alikuwa huku Nairobi University ya huku Nakuru. You know, all of us, none of us was 25, but we took the direction. Sisi wakati tulikuwa tunapigana chungwa hapa, hakukuwa mtu wa miaka 20 na wa 30 walikuwa politicians. The active people who were pale kwa ground, tukisema hapana, tukiandamana, tukifanya maneno kama hiyo, tukifanya shughuli hapo, tukikuja hapo kushawishi watu na kila kitu, ilikuwa ni sisi. So there's nothing unique about this young generation. And if they don't take charge, and we used to say, nothing for us without us. Na siasa, hakuna mtu atakuja kupatia kwa sahani. Shika. Ni wewe unajichukulia. Ati sasa uongozi, acha nikwambie Hanifa, nobody will come and tell you sasa tumechoka, chukueni. It will never happen. Ninyi mchukue cha lazima. Ninyi mchukue. Na generation yenu isipochukua ni shida yenu. Kuna mtu atakupatia. Nobody will come and tell you now. You think I'll go and tell someone in Gatundu now I'm tired of being MP, please come I campaign for you? What do you mean? Yule jamaa wewe kuja ungangane, ukuje ukinitoa sawa, mimi nitaenda ni retire. That's how it's going to happen.
I think it's happening already. Young people are vying from.
It's okay. Let them come and vie. Yes. Let them come and vie. Then people will decide, and that's how transition happens. And we have something we call natural attrition. Right. It so happens the people who are in the same parliament with Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, somehow they are not now around, whether they like it or they don't. Wengine wamezeeka, wengine wamechosha watu. Sinafanyika namna hiyo. Ni kweli. Itafanyika hivyo. There's nothing new. Lakini hakuna mtu mwenye niambie mbunge moja. Wale wazuri wa 1963 alikuja akasema sasa nimechoka, tafadhali wewe kijana kuja tukufanyia campaign, na mimi nimeenda. Maybe 2 or 3, na kuna sababu pengine za health ama mambo mengine. You know. So power and generally leadership is not something. First of all, if first of all I have a problem.
I have a question.
First of all, let me finish before you ask. First of all, I have a problem with leadership that is donated, because that which you've not worked for, you cannot protect, you cannot fight for. You know, that is why you find, and this has been tried, something you've been given on the road. Yes. You know, a brochure, a magazine, or whatever for free, doesn't have as much value as something that you went and got money and you bought. Ile gazeti umenunua, angalia kila mahali growing up, mzee akikuja na gazeti yenye amenunua, hata akiwa na vitu vingine amebeba hivi kwa sababu alinunua. You know, so even leadership, even small things, you need to work for stuff. So let people work for leadership. But let me also say this, right? As we work,
that working part.
As we work, let us know that everybody is bound by the Constitution, whether you like it or you don't like it. Katiba, whether you like the provisions of the Constitution or you don't like them, you are bound by them, and you must work within the principles of that Constitution, because
does it apply to the government?
If we start, I have said everyone. And I would like to imagine that you know what everyone means. Everyone means everyone. It encompasses everyone. Everyone is bound by the Constitution. Because, to us, if we do not work within the Constitution, then we will tutaanza kuthalilisha katiba ambayo sisi wenyewe tumeitengeza. Na kuna sababu tulitengeza hii katiba. Na kunazo sababu ambazo, na kunazo njia ambazo zimewekwa kwa hiyo katiba za kutengeneza ama kurekebisha yale mambo ambayo tungesikia kwamba ama tungeona kwamba hayatupeleki vizuri ama hatuyapendi kama wananchi ama wa Kenya.
Ndio.
Na kuna jinsi ambazo zimewekwa hapo katika hiyo katiba, jinsi ya kufuata na kufanya. Ulikuwa na swali, nitakusikiza.
Yeah, I'm asking, you've been talking a lot about people being handed leadership, especially young people. Has it been happening, ama is that what young people are doing currently?
I'll tell you. If you look at if you look at the provisions of our Constitution, we had what we call affirmative action seats.
The women rep seats,
for example. And the affirmative action seats were supposed to be there for 20 years. Meaning, in 2030, we are starting to get rid of them.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. We had many affirmative things that are in the Constitution and they are provided for that they are for a period of time.
Okay.
Including what we call equalization fund.
Okay.
All right. And that is why in 2022 nilipigwa sana wakati nilikuwa nasema kwamba hii affirmative action imekuwa miaka 12. We need to start asking ourselves,
what have they done?
Watu ambao tumepatia equalization fund for so long,
wamefanya nini?
Because imebakia miaka 8, wamefanya equalization fund na tuliwapatia na imekuwa ikienda. Can we evaluate it and see? Tulisema no, this one walikuwa traditionally ama what we call historically underprivileged, marginalized. Tuliwapatia pesa nyingi. You can imagine when a county like Turkana is getting maybe 8 billion, Kiambu here will be getting maybe something like 2-3 billion. So you said, hii pesa yenye imepeanwa hapa tofauti, kuna jinsi ambayo imesaidia.
Kuna tofauti imeleta.
Is there a difference? So that we ask ourselves, do we continue giving people money so that they pocket it? And then it's not going to the people. Na nikasema, tujiulize maswali. Kasema shule. Kuna shule gani imetengenezwa ikasemekana hii ilitengenezwa na county kwa sababu equalization fund. Ndio kwa sababu one of the things zenye zimekuwa huko kwa marginalization ni kwamba hakujengewa hospitali, hakujengewa shule, barabara. So we are asking, hii pesa kuna kazi gani imefanya? Because are we waiting until 2030 when tunakuja kumaliza alafu usikie watu wakisema hapana? And I will tell you this, Ngalo movie.
Yeah.
Would you wait uone 2030 kifika? After 20 years, which is put in the Constitution, we will have a referendum. Wakisema hapana, lazima iendelee kukua. Tunauliza, what have you done with it? Yeah. Anyway, so I was saying, I have an issue with some of these things. Because pia lazima tujiulize, okay, tumekuwa na viti hivi vya women rep. Have they really been used to raise women to where we wanted to be? Have they
so
contributed?
That is what you meant by handing leadership.
Yes.
Okay, I thought he was talking about young people.
Not necessarily. And I'm saying, you see, handing over power is to everyone. We ask yourself, pia tujiulize, unajua, kama sasa kuna watu ambao mimi naheshimu. Watu ambao wamekuwa walemavu, nasikia huyo alileta sheria. Sasa ukiangalia katika majengo ya serikali, you must have access.
Yeah.
You now realize, kitambo, a building will be done, a government building.
Yeah.
Imejengwa.
No ramps, no elevator.
Nothing, no elevator. Imewekwa 2 stairs.
Mujipange.
Na kuna mtu mwenye ni mlemavu. Over time, you can see wale watu ambao wamekuwa bungeni, watu walemavu, wametia vipengee hapo vya kufanya. Lakini unajua, that's a very disadvantaged constituency that we cannot sit here to discuss Hanifa, si ndio? Wherever you are, those people wenye wako na ulemavu ni watu ambao mtu yote anafaa kuwa, they are disadvantaged in a way that we cannot even start discussing.
Yep.
And we cannot even say how disadvantaged are you.
Okay, so the issue near women rep, which I have a question, is it the seat or the people occupying it? Because if we're going by incompetency, we have so many seats to complain about.
So
do we get rid of them too?
Like which one?
We have the MPs, we have even the top seat that people are so complaining about, and the women rep too. So is it the seat itself or the people occupying it?
I would like to understand your question.
I'm saying, unasema issue na the women rep seats and how haijaserve na its purpose and how it should they should get rid of it and stuff.
I'm not saying that. First of all, I've not said that women rep
have not done anything.
First of all, I'm not accused anybody. Number two, even those seats are not given, because those are people who go and
campaign.
Women representatives are elected. They go and vie, and there are many of them, and someone wins. Are you getting my point? But I'm asking, the Constitution donated a particular seat called the seat of
the woman representative.
And it had a purpose to raise the number of women who can participate in leadership, so that when we come to election, we will now have sufficient people who now are leaders and can participate in normal elective positions within the constituencies. That was the whole point, and I would like you to understand the way I've put it. And my question is, when we come 2030, which is now 4 years away,
yes,
if we are to follow the Constitution and abolish it, are we sure we will now have more women in the constituencies than we would have had?
So I get you, Mwesh.
That's my question.
I'm actually in agreement with you, because what you're saying is we audit.
Yes, we have these things. We audit what we've done with what was donated by the Constitution.
So we ask these women rep positions, what was their purpose and have they achieved their purpose? So should we continue having them because they're doing a good job?
My point.
Or should we get rid of them because wanakula tu taxpayer money? So it's an audit we are asking.
And I'm saying it's not
but everyone should be audited.
It's not a NIF question.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is not a NIF question. It is a when question.
Yes.
Because the Constitution gives timelines.
Ilisema 2030. Lazima ikitu ifanyike.
In 20 years.
Okay.
4 election cycles. So that's why we were. But now I was on this issue of the question you had asked was about the youth and their participation in politics, and I said I would encourage the youth to participate more. In fact, I would encourage more youth to participate in politics than currently are. Even after maandamano of 2024, it was just a little chaotic, but to me the direction we're moving in
is a good
is engaging everyone in civic duty. There are no selected people here. I was not elected. I was not selected. I was not born and selected to come and fight wars for other gazillion people. Let everyone come and participate in civic duty. You know, Hanifa, even when you get into the streets, when you're in the streets, there are people who are watching you on the TV. Kwani hao wewe ukipigania hao wanafanya nini nyumbani? Wanakunywa chai wanakuangalia wewe unapigwa na tear gas town.
Unakunywa huko tear gas.
No, you see, let me tell you. You know these people, you think that this politics is a preserve of us, or that we think we don't feel entitled. Wasiponichagua sawa. Kwani mimi this is my first time to be elected. Kwani you think in 2021 ziko wanakula? You know this mentality with you activists. You think that we think that this space is ours. No. This space is for Kenyans. Mimi, I'm just among the people wenye walijitokeza kukuja kupigana. It's not a good space to be in. Unasikia mtu mjinga anakuja kukuambia vitu. Unaangalia mtu unajiuliza, tulikuwa naye shule, wewe uliachia shule hapa. Mimi ndo nimeenda nimejiexpose hivi, nimeona kila kitu, nimejitolea. Nimeingia kwa siasa. Then unakuja kuniambia nyenye. Wewe si ukuje ufanye better.
angry? Who are we
Elections
angry
are
at?
done. Listen, you know there will be an election in 2027. Stop telling me what to do. You come and vie. Uchagulie na watu.
But Mwesh,
It seems you're angry at someone.
No,
activists
I am telling you. See, you
I
come,
think he's angry
go
at
seek
someone.
electoral positions. Come. You see one thing that is very unfortunate in politics is that there are people who choose, and I will choose that in the coming future.
Yes.
Power without responsibility. What we call the prerogative of the harlot throughout the ages. Kuna watu ambao kazi yao wanataka mtu akuje akae. Hakuna kitu wataja kusema.
Okay.
Yeye hataki position yenye atakuwa castigated ama criticized. Hata tu akae hapa, aongee kutoka kwa bedroom yake, aseme hii barabara haijafanywa. Akwenda kupiga kura.
Yeah.
Akujitolea achaguliwe. And he did nothing other than complain, castigate, criticize. It's a very good position to be in. I have seen people
pointing fingers.
But where do you
Pointing
draw
fingers is a
the
very
line
good position
between
to be in.
accountability and not being in active politics, or rather holding your leaders to account? Kila mtu anasema watu wana complain, but it is holding them to account. If I tell you kwa nini barabara ijajengwa, I don't think it's up to the leader to ask me if I voted or not. This road is your responsibility, ama that is what I understand. Barabara mnafaa kujenga.
Wacha nikwambie kwanza.
Kujenga
barabara, truly speaking, if we were to look at what we call the principle of agency.
Yes.
Kazi ya kujenga barabara sio ya elected leaders.
Si ya MP, si ya MCA, ni ya nani?
Ni ya nchi. Kwa sababu barabara, mimi am not coming with my money kujenga barabara. Wewe unataka nijenge barabara. Ushuru yenye wewe na mwingine wanatoa haitoshi kujenga barabara. Sasa unataka mimi niende ni
ushuru haitoshi aje?
Because I'll tell you, we have a budget of 4.8B.
Yeah.
Out of 4.8B, na hii ni ushuru ambayo hii ni budget yenye imetoka executive. Only 700B, give or take, is to go to development.
Okay.
Because 4.1B is going to what we have already consumed in the past. 4.1B has gone to payment of salaries for teachers, police officers, doctors.
Recurrent expenditure,
basically speaking. Refurbishing our loans or repayment of our loans. Na mambo kama hayo. So, we have 700B. 700B
ndio inafaa kujenga mabarabara.
Ijenge barabara,
ijenge
viwanja, ijenge every capital and development expenditure.
Okay.
Ifanye kila kitu. Kama kuna barabara itajengwa, kama kuna tuta improve KBC, kama tuta improve facilities za jeshi, everything ni 700 billion. So when you come to me and tell me
as an MP now,
and tell me hatujengi barabara kwa sababu, and this I want to speak collectively. Kwa 700 billion kuna mtu atamanage kujenga barabara kwake, depending on your craftiness,
proximity to
power, those things, blah 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 blah. Because one thing that we must be honest about is that development, with the constitution or without the constitution, is not how do I put it? Cannot be equitably distributed. It's not possible.
Okay.
Because our needs, if we're to do all roads in Kenya that need to be done, we probably need 100 trillion. All right? To connect all our roads. Meaning, it is not physically possible to do all the roads in a span of these 5 years.
Okay.
And we know that.
So that is the fault of Kenyans.
We just
ordinary
it is our economy. We have a small economy.
But people are already taxed. How much more do you want people to be taxed? And this is a genuine question. This is a genuine question.
Okay, ask.
I'm asking. Unasema barabara zikiwa mbaya, that is the fault of watu.
It's nobody's fault. We are just listen.
I think you said that.
That's what I'm saying. It's not the fault of the elected MPs. It's the fault. It is the fault of all of us because we are a small economy.
We have money being lost, billions in corruption.
Okay, I've told you.
We have expenditure problems.
Excuse me. And you know, it is important, Hanifa, that even as we have this discussion, I will ask that we exercise some level of civility.
I think I have.
And I'm saying we need 100 trillion to do roads only. We only have available 700 billion. Forget whether money will be stolen or not.
And this is every financial year.
Forget whether money. First of all, let me tell you, it is not possible. There cannot be corruption in this budget. There cannot be corruption in the 4.1 trillion. Because you must pay people salaries. Not unless you're saying it's possible. First of all, you must. This thing of corruption, movie and Hanifa, and I want us to now start having conversations as Kenyans. First of all, corruption is not, you cannot, pesa ya walimu, mshahara.
Utaiba.
How utaiba aje?
Lazima walipe.
So, it is not possible to exercise corruption. It is very difficult to have corruption in recurrent expenditure. There could be, but a very small percentage of it. Because this money is ni pesa ya kulipa walimu, kulipa madaktari, kulipa insurance. Those things must be done. You understand? So you want us to talk about 700 billion. No matter how we corrupt this 700 billion, supposing Jesus or Muhammad comes and is the one who's given this 700 billion to administer, to build roads worth 100 trillion. Sasa wewe kwanza tuongee hapo. Atafanya nini? So not unless you can put money kama ile wedding ya Cana of Galilee, we geuze ikue wine, convert pesa ikue
so
dollars.
What is your solution?
So there's no solution. The country must develop in stages. And every nation in the country must move at its own pace. Let me tell you, Hanifa.
Which pace? Tolerating bad roads.
Hanifa, let me ask you something. Wewe, unataka kuniambia auwezi kuendesha Range Rover ya 2025?
Siwezi, sina pesa.
Exactly. So wewe na bwana yako, if you are married, ama mbuvi wewe na bibi yako, you would want to live in Karen.
Yes.
Lakini ni pole pole. Mtasave, mshahara ifike mahali, mchukue loan, before you get to live in Karen, itakuwa imechukua muda. As a country, before we get to do everything that is being done, we must take time. Let me tell you something.
How much
time? Let me tell
honestly?
you something. Let me tell you something, Mbuvi.
Yep.
And the member of parliament for Gatundu South. When I was in high school, way before Hanifa was born, I would walk from my place in Mutungoro to Gatundu town, which is 16 kilometers.
Okay.
There would be matatus once in a while, but the road was bad and everything. And there was no way, there was no route that had tarmac. Right? Matatu ni either you would ukiamka unaanza shughuli ya kutembea.
Ikupate
na matatu bahati nzuri.
And whose fault was that? Do you think it's something you deserved?
Can I first finish before you talk about fault? And this thing of fault. Whose fault is it that you don't drive a new Range Rover?
The government.
The economy.
So you want the government to give you a new Range Rover?
No, they make life tolerable for us. People are living hand to mouth. We don't even have anything to eat. We can't afford Range Rovers kama nyinyi. You see?
Maliza historia 16 kilometers.
Because I think it is important. And I'll tell you, Gon, when he calls me next, we must have structured, way of interview that we can deal, because it is important that when we get a chance like this, when we are endowed with chances like this with microphones, where people are listening to us, even the questions we ask must be representative of the people, because must be I would want, if I were a listener, I would want even the person who's interviewing me to ask a question that would help me. Okay, let me
16 kilometers
now. So a place from a place called Kagema from Gatundu to Kagema. In 2005, when I was at the University of Nairobi, and you can check that online, we did something called Go Petition. We petitioned President Kibaki atutengeneze hiyo barabara. It was done by myself and a guy called Kamau Mbugwa. That is information you can verify.
Okay.
In 2007. It took 5 years for that petition to work. And in 2012, that was the roads agencies had not been formed then. The road was started. So it was done up to this place called Kagema.
Okay.
From Kagema, you need to cross a river, and there's another maybe 7 kilometers now to my home. So from 2012, from maybe 2014, when that road was finished, we have been using that road. Tunaingia Kagema, ni barabara mbovu, tunatembea hivyo mbovu pole pole, tunafika nyumbani. And we didn't complain. When I became a member of parliament, I've been able to fix that. In 2021, when in 2019 actually, we were able to, again, when Moses Kuria was a member of parliament, and I was his PA, we again haggled for another road that would now connect a place called Wamongi to a place called Wanogo. Another step after another 10 years. Now, in 2025, when now I was elected, I was able now to connect this place from Kagema to Karatu, so that now I can now finally, the journey from Gatundu to Wanogo now,
this 16 kilometers.
Yes, this 16 kilometers
are fully tarmacked.
From 2012, from 2005 when I started fighting, and of course I would imagine even people before me, before I was born, like my mother and my father had been fighting for it, members of parliament before it, being Gengi, Muigai, Gakunju, and Kenyatta himself, and all those are people who were members of parliament for that constituency, have been waiting. Now finally, this journey of 16 kilometers from Mutungoro to Gatundu, I've only now been able to do it on tarmac in 2025. We got independence in 1963. So now kila kitu ni pole pole.
Kwa hivyo sorry.
So what we're saying is, hata kwako nyumbani, mimi nilipotoka shule, unatoka shule una kitu. Kidogo kidogo, unangangana kidogo, unapata kanyumba kidogo ya kuishi hapo Kasingo room. Unafanya job kidogo, unafanya retention nini, unaweka tu pesa, normal things, unaweka pesa kwa sako, unaweka pesa ingine kwa biashara, unafanya
accumulate well pole pole.
Accumulate akili pia na experience, unapandishwa cheo nini, mambo inaenda kichange, unajipata somehow umeweza kutoka single room umeenda one bedroom. Si ndio?
Okay.
Ukikaa kidogo umeoa hivyo, and that's how life moves, even for at a personal level. So even as a nation, we must accept that we will not wake up one day and we find that we are even this country, we have moved from a third world country to a developing nation.
We are a developing nation.
Yeah, we are categorized as a developing nation.
Tulipandishwa cheo juzi.
If you don't know. And you know, by the way, those things
very soon.
Let me tell you, Hanifa, because let me give you a personal story.
Sorry, I have a question.
Before you ask, just hold your question. 3 weeks ago, my friends and I decided to do a road trip. And we said, let's go to Malawi. So we took our friends Prado, kaeka mafuta nini, tanks za mafuta nini. We just made it proper for a road trip. And we drove from here, Arusha, Babati, Dodoma, Iringa, Mbeya, tukaingia Malawi. You know, when you hear people saying, I'm saying this because I've had nimesikia mwenzangu hapa, rafiki yangu, dada yangu hapa akijaribu kudhalilisha that we are developing nation. When I did that journey, the 4,000 kilometers we did, by the time I was coming back, I understood what it meant when you hear people saying that Kenya is the biggest economy in East Africa. Bro, let me tell you, in Malawi, hakuna boda.
Hakuna boda.
Hakuna boda.
Okay.
Yani wase utumia bike kisululu. Yani bro, natunge tu kweli, Prado yenye ni gari yenye ukisimama hapa, hata Prado yenye ukienda siku hizi ukiendesha Prado hapo watu unanyimwa parking.
It's a normal car nowadays.
Unanyimwa parking. Kuna ucheneza kufungulia juu unaendesha Prado. Mzee na kuwashare bure ndio interact na hiyo gari. They've never seen it. You see the way helicopter lands somewhere, watu wanakuja
wanajazana.
I think hata ushagua jaona if you are judging by Prados.
No. Let me tell you. Unfortunately, I've been to every county in this country. Every of the 47 except Lamu. Lamu no mali mimi sijakanyaga kwa mguu yangu.
You've seen Kilifi?
I have been everywhere in this country except
Lamu.
Nikisema hivi najua, don't ask me
okay, so Kilifi pia imekuonyesha we are developing
don't
nation.
Ask me subsequent questions. I know, in fact, I have properties in Kilifi myself.
You have, the people
and my
don't.
friends and everyone. Let me tell you, you know, if you go to Lilongwe, then we can come back and have that question and that have that conversation. And you know we must also learn to appreciate this country. You know, even if you're angry at this country, even if you're bitter with William Ruto, you must first of all establish that this country was William Ruto has only been, of the almost 70 years that we've been a nation, William Ruto has only been there for 4.
I have a question in regards to the mountain mesh. Is the mountain divided? Is the mountain together? Because everyone I've been talking to, especially from that particular area, they're saying that UDA, as far as the central region, the mountain region, they do not see people vying on that particular chama again.
First of all, let me tell you. On issues of vying on UDA.
Yes.
Even if people do not vie on UDA, it's nothing unusual.
Yeah,
politics of Kenya.
Hata TNA ilikuja ikaenda.
Politics of Kenya ni kukumbushe. Nataka kuambia, kupatia story ya Gatundu South, where I'm a member of parliament. Let's come from. Let me save her some flack, and let's start from 1997.
Go ahead.
1997, there was Muhia, who was elected on Safina.
This is now in Gatundu South.
Gatundu South.
Okay.
2002, Uhuru Kenyatta was elected on Kanu. 2007, he was elected himself on PNU.
Okay.
Uhuru Kenyatta again. So he moved from Kanu, came to PNU. 2012, Uhuru Kenyatta was elected now as president.
Yes.
On TNA. 2017, Moses Kuria. No, 2017 Moses Kuria was elected on Jubilee.
Okay.
2022, Kagombe was elected on TNA.
UDA.
No, UDA. On UDA. So it tells you that since 1997, 30 years ago, there has not been a member of parliament elected on the party that the previous one was elected. So, if William Ruto himself, if William Ruto said, okay, we are not now vying, because even William Ruto himself was elected on a TNA ticket as deputy president in
Jubilee, then
2017
UDA.
Jubilee, then UDA. Rigathi Gachagua was elected on Jubilee, then UDA. Now he's seeking
DCP.
Election on DCP. So changing parties is nothing unusual. in our Kenyan politics. And why?
And specifically in the mountain.
And specifically in the mountain. In fact, I would dare say there are people in other areas who have consistently, probably there could be a member of parliament from the western side who's been there for 3-4 terms and has forever been elected on ODM.
Yes.
But in the mountain, you must first of all understand the history of our people, understand our people properly. Our people are different breed of people. We normally easily get tired with stuff. It's not unusual.
Okay.
Let me tell you, when Kibaki was elected for the second time, whether elected or rigged in or whatever it is that people want to say, when Kibaki became president for the second time in 2007, immediately allegiance shifted to Uhuru Kenyatta. By 2008, in fact, let me tell you, because I was there when post-election violence started, and I attended a meeting of Kikuyus, and I was a student leader that time. There was a meeting that was held, the popular meeting that was held at Imali Likwea Patni, Museum Hill. There was a place there. If you look at your history, you'll see that there was a meeting. Even at ICC, that particular place
was presented as evidence.
Yes, as where war could have been triggered and how Kikuyus planned to attack other people.
Okay.
I was there. A small person, a young man, as a student leader. So I didn't get to the table, but I was in the vicinity. You know the way you have hangers on in the meeting, we are in here, and then drivers and everyone are out here. And I remember someone called George Duo, calling Uhuru Kenyatta, telling him, listen, if you do not come here to this meeting, never call yourself a leader in the Kikuyu community again. Because all leaders in Kikuyu community, including Mother Karua, are here. And let me tell you, it is even said, you even heard Mishuki saying, when there was a sitting president who was Kikuyu, and someone said, and Mishuki is caught in Muranga saying, in Kenol saying, anybody who wants to engage with our community now, you must come through Uhuru Kenyatta. That is something you can find on internet, does not forget.
Okay.
So our people, immediately Kibaki was elected for the second time, they switched allegiance to Uhuru Kenyatta. Our people look forward. Sasa hiyo tumemaliza, tunaendelea kwingine. So whatever will happen in 2027, if UDA comes back, and UDA will also have remnants, because even Jubilee, even in Mulima currently, but as things were, we have Jubilee MPs. We have Kwenya Thuku, we have Kiaraho, who we buried the other day. We have many MPs who are on the Jubilee side, who are elected on Jubilee tickets. So even now, UDA will have members of parliament. For those people who feel maybe it's not a very popular party and want to move to another party which you think is more popular,
it's fine.
It's fine.
I guess the question I was asking is, does President Ruto have votes in the mountain like he had in the previous election?
President Ruto has and will have votes in Mount Kenya.
Of course,
and I'll tell you why.
Lakini the number the same?
And I'll tell you where the numbers will be very serious and many.
Okay.
When you look at the direction of the courts, I don't want to anticipate what the courts are going to do. Lakini mwenye macho ambi tazama. I have personally seen a video.
Yes.
Kwa live kama hii ya show ingine. Mkubwa wa judiciary, ambaye ni Chief Justice, I know you've seen it.
Okay.
Akisema that we have the principle of we have the principle of law, the writ of law that says that you are innocent until proven guilty. And she said that it therefore follows that you are impeached until proven otherwise. All right?
Once impeached, always impeached.
And unless a court subverts that decision. From my understanding of the law and from my understanding of separation of powers, it will be very difficult for a court to say that the procedure that happened within
parliament
was wrong. The same way, if parliament is is dissatisfied with the decision of the court, Parliament does not sit and subvert the decision of a lower court. It goes to a higher court and seeks that court subverts the decision of
of the other
lower
court.
And you must remember that these are two arms of the same government, which have independence and which have separation of power. I do not find any court that is worth its salt saying that this procedure of Parliament, which is superintended by the Speaker, was wrong, and therefore,
So even the Court of Appeal,
it is very difficult. That said, when there is no Kikuyu president vying,
you mean candidate?
When there is no Kikuyu, yes, there is no Kikuyu
candidate,
presidential person vying for presidential seat, Kikuyu candidate.
Yes.
It will be very difficult to convince those people to go to come from a person they have seen to another person,
an unknown
person, because I'm trying to look at that unknown person. I have heard people saying your name betrays you, talala kama bahasha. I don't know many things. I'm just saying, I'm telling you things that have happened in the past.
Yes.
To be very difficult to tell Kikuyus to go that side. That's number one.
Okay.
Any other route nikiangalia bro, kama hiyo imeshindikana hiyo na hiyo, mimi nakwambia hiyo itakuwa imeshindikana. Ujuange tu hivyo.
Okay.
In the absence of, and the way politics of this country is, saizi mtu mwenye haja declare anataka kiti ya president sahi
asiitishe,
wewe wachana tu na hiyo kitu. Ama nadanganya, tusidanganya we Kenyans.
Mimi unajua
ngumu usipotana hiyo kitu.
You're the politician.
Wacha nikwambie mbuvi.
Yeah.
Kama hujasema wewe unataka kiti sahi, wewe wachana tu na hiyo kitu. Na hata ukianza, people now take you as a joke.
Okay.
Anza kuwa kina Mwaure. You see a candidate who can come and people will not consider you Kikuyu. They will not consider you from Mulima.
Yes.
Like a guy who vied last time called Mwaure. Nobody saw him as a Kikuyu. So there could be such candidates.
Okay.
Wenye wanataka tu during their burial isemekane he was a presidential candidate.
Unasema andaa kweke kwa CV.
Kuna mtu anataka yake kwa CV yake. Sana si CV. Kwa sababu presidential candidate CV unapelekea nani? Presidential candidate ni mazishi.
Yeah.
Ukizikwa inaandikwa na alikuwa amejaribu ikiti.
Yeah.
So in the absence of a Kikuyu candidate,
it will be tricky.
Takuwa mgumu bro.
All right. Lastly, as we come to an end on this particular conversation, there is a lot of talk about June 25th, and of course Kenyans have said they will come out in their numbers to remember their brothers and sisters that lost their lives during the protests of 2024 and subsequent protests that also followed, even last year. The president has said that, kila mtu apatiwe protection yake and so on and so forth. The CS also have spoken. Government spokesperson pia yeye ameongea. IG kila mtu ameongea. What do you anticipate on that particular day?
It is very sad what happened in the past. And as a country, we must really mourn and learn from what happened in 2024. Personally, I have very bad memories of that day. Because even I, as a member of parliament, I'm also someone's child. I'm someone's father. I mean, I'm also a Kenyan. And even in this constitution, hata mfungwa mwenye amefanya makosa yote na imedhibitika na amefungwa, pia akona haki yake.
Akona rights kabisa.
Akona right ya kuishi. So everyone in this country has a right. And therefore, anybody, and first of all, let's mourn, and let me mourn with the families that lost their loved ones. And it is very unfortunate and it is sad. However, the provisions of Article 37, the law says that he who comes is not even the law. We say, I mean, and decency says and demands that he who comes to equity must do equity. And he who seeks justice must do justice. All right? So if you are seeking justice, we must seek justice within the law. If you are seeking the government to follow the law, we can only do that within the law. Do you understand? Because it is defeatist. Umenipiga ngumi in a law that is not a republic, a banana republic. When you give me a jab, giving you a jab or waiting for you and then I nikupige mbao, then that is not how justice is sought. What I would ask, we have seen in the past.
Yeah.
When people call for demonstrations, and you know, we must agree that there are people who actually call for demonstrations. These things are not organic, and they are not, you know, they are not spontaneous. I've seen spontaneous stuff. I can tell you the election of 2007 created erupted spontaneous celebrations and chaos at the same time in different places, and it was spontaneous. But probably spontaneous because over time that was a crescendo because people had been building up emotions. But now we know that without a doubt, when we call for maandamano, there will be loss of property. We have seen it. There will be loss of life. There will be loss of revenue. There will be chaos. You know, it's just terrible stuff that will happen. We now know. We have seen it. And you know, the English people say, only a fool does something the same way,
expecting different results.
That's number one. Number two, if people are tired with this government, there is a provision in the constitution that you're quoting, Article 37,
provides
for maandamano, also provides that transition of power must be done according to the constitution. So you cannot decide the articles of the constitution to quote and not the others. In 2024, this friend of mine here, huyu dada yangu, was seeking, amongst other people, to overthrow the government unconstitutionally.
Were they seeking to overthrow the government?
Even walikuwa wanafanya, kwani State House walikuwa wanaenda kukamua.
Nani ameenda State House?
Hawakuenda State House. Walifika parliament.
2024 happened because
the constitution.
Sasa msikizi watu. Listen, you've talked a lot and I think we have a bit of space to ask questions.
Hanifa,
si tunafaa kuuliza maswali ama.
This is not my show. You cannot accuse me of speaking a lot
because kwanza so tupe chance ya kuuliza maswali kidogo.
Let me tell you why. You cannot accuse me of talking a lot kwa sababu hii ni show yenu. Muliniita.
Yeah. And I have a
question. Na muliniita niongee na kama mungetaka nisikuje kuongea, if you wanted to interview yourself, you would have just not
There's
called
no problem. I just have questions.
So you cannot accuse me of that. Withdraw that.
I have questions.
Withdraw that because I've been answering questions asked by Mungalo Mbuvi.
You have a right
to
withdraw.
Talk.
Yeah, you have a right to talk.
Apologize to me. You're my host, bwana. You cannot be hostile to your guests.
When was I hostile? I think you're the one who is hostile.
You have accused me of
being hostile, by the way.
No, by the way, you cannot accuse me kwa show because you can. Wewe hata uko na mic unaweza zima. You cannot accuse me of kuongea sana.
She didn't accuse you. She was just saying that maybe sasa akona nafasi ya kukuuliza swali. Uliza swali yako Hanifa.
Jamani. I'm asking. 2024 was extremely organic, and I'm saying as as someone, as a young person who was engaged. It happened because the members of parliament were asked to vote no for a bill as their representative they should have, and they didn't. So if they close all the avenues to air our grievances, Nona, where do they want young people to go? Who do they mnataka wafanye nini? Yes. So if they massively, they even texted people akamwambia, this bill is not good for us. As my representative, vote no.
The famous kusalimiana.
Yes, the kusalimia culture, you know. And another issue of Gatundu iya barabara, which I genuinely want to ask again, as a young person who has been leveraging on my social media platform for such changes. I have used my social media, you know, to change things, my influence. Like kama ile the Korokocho siwa that existed for such a long time. Na tukapelekana na Sakaja, and he fixed it. So people have a right, whether or not they think people are complaining, they have a right not to choose mediocrity. They have a right to complain about bad roads, about hospitals, about everything. Hakuna mnawapea timeline ati wangoje, pia sisi tulitembea huko, pia nyinyi mnafaa kungoja, you know, suffer a bit before this and this happens. You see, I have such questions. I'm not saying that he's speaking a lot, Amanini. I think I've been quite calm and accommodative.
Okay. Let me just address
I wasn't hostile at all.
We have little time. First of all, I agree with you. People must air their grievances. But the law, again, public participation must be structured. All right? Because when you say, you know, your truth is not everybody's truth. Understand? As a member of parliament, elected by 80,000 people, when you text me on social media or when you make a post and say, I have this complaint, I don't want this, I don't want ABCD, you are not the alpha and omega.
They actually
You're just one amongst very many people. Because I also go to the village. I sit with those people. I ask them what they want. And you know, the problem with this country is we have few people with the extremely myopic who want here and now. And the here and now is, I'm not telling you to wait because I waited. I'm asking you a question. Where do we get 100 trillion to do roads? That's the question I'm asking. And she's not willing to answer me.
We pay taxes. You
So
said
you
taxes
pay
are
100
not
trillion
enough.
taxes.
So tuendelee kuovertax
No,
you,
first of
ama?
all, I want to understand.
Are we not being
First of all,
taxed enough?
So let me ask you.
Ama, he said there's no
let me ask you something.
solution.
I want to understand.
Sasa mi
I want
sielewi.
to understand if you have a concept of finance and money. I want you to understand. I want to know from you whether you understand what 100 trillion is.
Yes, that is a lot of money.
So, and you're saying now the roads that we need that need 1 trillion shillings, we do them now, this year.
So watu wangoje.
No, sikuuliza, mimi nakuuliza. I'm asking you a question, answer me. So you're saying we do those roads this year?
Yes, that's why you're in office.
Okay. I will not dignify that with any response.
We've come to the end, Muhesh. Do you have any part in short, specifically maybe to the people of Gatundu?
First of all, I would like to talk to the nation.
Yes.
And the young people. And I would tell them, we only have one country. Na ukitaka kujua, we only have one country, wewe jaribu ende hapa Tanzania. Ndio utajua, hata majirani wenye tunaongea lugha moja, hawatu tukaribisha. We have a responsibility to first make this country first thing. Before you can build roads, before you can count anybody to account and everything, first thing.
Yeah.
You know, move ukitoka kwako kwa nyumba, kuna kitu moja lazima ufanye. Kama una pesa, kama unaenda kutembea ama nini, kitu ya kwanza for you to be a sane person, ni lazima uvae nguo. At least, tukitoka kwa stage, kama utaenda kutembea ama bodaboda ama nini, kwanza lazima uvae nguo. Ukitoka hivi ndege tutakushangaa. First thing is that we must have a country. And the first way of having that country is first of all having peace in this country. May I ask people, whether you're holding your leaders to account, whether you're holding your mother to account, whether you're holding whoever it is to account, first of all, make sure that there's peace. Okay. That we have a habitable country. All else
shall follow. Thank you so much. This is where we come to an end as far as that conversation is concerned. Shukran mingi sana Muhesh for making time. Na uambie your colleague mwenye ameturuka leo, tafadhali akuendangi hivyo.
Ameniogopa.
Maswali yangekuwa magumu. Yangekuwa magumu zaidi.
Maswali yangekuwa magumu na gumzo ingekuwa ngumu sana.
I know you guys probably chat, so please mwambie siku nyingine bwana asitu stand up.
Hapana, amesema alikuwa na emergency kidogo, lakini ukweli kwa sababu ni rafiki yangu. Mimi najua tu hiyo emergency angeza pia kuisacumlocute, lakini
angekuja alafu attend baadaye.
Angekuja alafu aende kwa emergency baadaye.
Sawa basi.
Thank you very much.
All right folks, tomorrow morning bright and early at exactly 6 a.m. when I shall be here for the people's breakfast with CT Muga. Hanifa sema kwaheri.
Kwaheri guys, see you next week.
All right.
This is Radio Generation. We are Radio Generation. We would like to thank you for choosing us. We are mandated by the Communications Authority of Kenya to ensure that our programming is in compliance with the terms of our license. Kindly send your complaints to us via info@rgk.co.ke as well as inbox via our social media platforms. We will review and respond within 30 days of receipt. Thank you for choosing Radio Generation. This is Radio Generation.
Radio Generation, the sound is fine. Pump it up, turn it high all the time. Let the music move you, let's sway. Radio G's got your jam all day.
Radio Generation, the home of urban soul.
Radio Generation. 88 Generation. 88 FM.
This is Radio Generation, your one-stop shop for your hip-hop hits.
Radio Generation. 88 FM. Radio Generation. Rock with us again. 88 FM. Say it loud. Say it loud. Radio Generation.
Radio Generation, your everyday music fix. 90.7 FM in Mombasa. This is the Radio Generation News.
Good evening and welcome. I am Dahira Ahmed. Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna has suffered a major political setback after the Orange Democratic Movement National Executive Committee officially removed him from his position as Secretary General of the party. Acting Secretary General Catherine Omanyo announced the decision today after a top party leadership meeting, saying it takes effect immediately. This means Sifuna has officially ceased to hold the position of ODM Secretary General with immediate effect.
The party's internal Dispute Resolution Committee that was constituted in accordance with Article 51(3)(f) of the party constitution to hear and determine the complaint concerning Senator Edwin Watenya Sifuna in his capacity as the Secretary General. After going through the report and the findings of the IDRS under Article 74, Section 2 of the party constitution, the NEC unanimously resolved to adopt the committee's recommendation and endorsed the removal from office of Senator Edwin Watenya Sifuna.
PLP leader Martha Karua has arrived in Nairobi after being denied entry into Uganda, where she had travelled to attend a court session involving Ugandan opposition leader Kizza Besigye. Karua said she was turned back despite travelling for the court proceedings, an action she says prevented her from carrying out her legal and political duties in the matter. In the same incident, Law Society of Kenya President Charles Kanjama, who travelled with Karua, was allowed entry into Uganda and continued with his engagements. Elsewhere, government spokesperson Isaac Mwaura has warned against the planned commemoration protest scheduled for June 25th, insisting that the day will be a normal working day. Speaking during the weekly press briefing in Nairobi, Mwaura said the government has not declared June 25th a public holiday and urged Kenyans to report to work as usual. He added that security agencies have put measures in place to protect businesses and ensure normal activities continue across the country.
Government clarifies that 25th of June is not a public holiday and will remain a working day. Citizens are urged to move forward and work that day constructively to build our economy, leaving unrest behind and uniting in fostering peace and national cohesion. Recent protests have resulted in losses of life and property, and we stand in solidarity with those whose lives were lost. The estimate by KRA was that we lost 6 billion shillings. The estimate by KRA was that we lost 6 billion shillings. And it's even more, that's just a very conservative estimate. Therefore, call for further protests risk driving the country into further economic crisis, severely harming the very youth that those who are calling the purport to represent.
The Ministry of Public Service has marked Africa Public Service Day in a ceremony held at the Kenyatta International Convention Center in KICC. The day, recognized by all African countries, is observed to honor the contribution of public servants and government institutions in promoting innovation, sustainable development, and improved service delivery to citizens.
The objective must be clear: to create institutions that not only meet today's need, but also prepares for tomorrow's demands. If we are committed to compete with the first world, then our outputs in public service must continually grow to the level to level up with other nations that we perceive as a first world. If Singapore or South Korea is our role model, then public servants and indeed citizens must start focusing on productivity per hour rather than mere attendance at the workplace.
And President William Ruto has announced that the government will pay a 2 billion shilling debt owed to coffee farmers in the next financial year, saying the remaining balance will be paid in phases in subsequent financial years. Speaking in Kirinyaga County during the launch of a coffee sector revival program, President Ruto criticized MPs who opposed the 2026 finance bill, saying they were misled into pushing for its rejection. He is expected to sign the bill into law tomorrow.
Nyinyi mnaelewa ya kwamba pale mkulima wa kahawa alikuwa anangojea mwezi moja, mwezi tatu, mwezi nne alipwe. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Si ni kweli? Si nyinyi wakulima wa kahawa? Si watu walikuwa wanaongoja unapeleka kahawa yako ujui utalipwa lini? Unangojea hapo, unapatiwa story, unaletewa propaganda, unangoja miezi tatu, miezi nne, miezi sita, ujui italipwa lini. Sasa tumekubaliana ya kwamba mkulima akifikisha kahawa yake, baada ya siku 5 pesa iwe kwa mfuko yake. 5 days. Munasema tuendelee ama tuendelee? Siku ngapi?
Continuing with the president's remarks, President William Ruto has also criticized opposition leaders, accusing them of lacking a development agenda and instead focusing on political rhetoric. He claimed that their major political achievement has been giving him nicknames such as Kasongo and One Term. Speaking in Kirinyaga County, Ruto said leadership should be measured by development and service delivery to citizens, not empty political talk.
Wale majamaa wengine wanajaribu kunifanyia maneno, muniwachie. Mimi nitapambana, nitawanyorosha asubuhi na mapema. Wale watu bana. Sasa niwaulize nyinyi watu wa Kirinyaga, mukipima hiyo watu, kuna mtu size yangu kwa hiyo watu? Mtu ambaye hana maono, hana sera, hana mpango, hana agenda. Ati ile kazi kubwa akili yake inafika ni kuniita Kasongo na kusema one term na kusema must go. Sasa hiyo ni mtu ambaye atashindana na kweli na mimi? Ukimuuliza mambo ya kahawa hajui, mambo ya kilimo hajui, mambo ya barabara hajui, mambo ya affordable housing hajui, mambo ya matibabu hajui. Sasa nini watu wa hapa, watu wa Kirinyaga, mnasema tuendelee na kazi ama mnataka hao watu watuletee fitina? ati juzi wameenda hapo bunge, wamepeleka propaganda, wamepeleka uongo, wakaaibishwa na huko bunge wakati waliulizwa hiyo unayosema ni kipengele namba ngapi, wakakosa kujibu.
The Kenya Publishers Association has indicated that the distribution of grade 11 textbooks will begin in September this year. Speaking in Nairobi, the association's chairman Musyoki Muli said textbook for learners transitioning to grade 11 next year are already complete and ready for distribution. He added that publishers are now focusing on producing learning materials for grade 12. They also urged the government to pay the 9.2 billion shilling debt owed to publishers.
Just to update you that we are on top in terms of the book publishing. We are in the process of producing the books for grade 11, which already, as we talk, are in the production department, right from publishing to printing, and now the dissemination of the same information now to the market.
Actually, what we're working on now, right on the tables of editors, is grade 12. Grade 11 must be distributed from September because it takes around a month to print and to package for every school in this country. So the notifications framework agreements have already been given to publishers that have completed corrections.
Matters International British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has announced that he will resign as Prime Minister and leader of the Labour Party after facing intense pressure within the party. Starmer, who assumed office on July 5th, 2024, has pledged to fully support his successor to ensure an orderly transfer of power. Nominations for the leadership of the Labour Party and therefore the UK Prime Ministership will open on July 9th this year. The front-runner is former Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham, who is returning to Parliament after winning a by-election on Sunday.
The question my party is asking now is whether I am best placed to lead us into the next general election. I have heard the answer of my parliamentary party to that question, and I accept that answer with good grace. Every decision I've taken has been about putting the country I love first. That is why I will resign as leader of the Labour Party. I have spoken to His Majesty the King this morning to inform him of my decision. I will ask the National Executive Committee of the Labour Party to set out a timetable with nominations opening on the 9th of July and completed by the summer recess. In the case of a contest, this will ensure a new leader is in place before Parliament returns in September. I will remain in post as Prime Minister until the contest is complete, and I will do everything I can to ensure an orderly handover of power. I will also give my successor my full and unequivocal support, knowing that they will inherit a Britain that is far stronger and fairer than the one I inherited 2 years ago, better prepared for the challenges ahead, and better able to ensure the Labour Party secures a second term in office.
And that's the truth on Radio Generation. Have a lovely night. I am Dahira Ahmed.